Communication. Modern communication involves the use of telephones, satellites, computers and the internet. Means. Means of communication. Provide. Telecommunications. Telephony. Quite a few telephone companies use internet telephony in order to provide their customers with cheaper phone services. Provider. Nowadays, if you're not satisfied with your phone or internet connection, you just change providers. Phone. Jill's on the phone. I answered the phone on the second ring. Telephone. Facility. Has this mobile got a hands-free facility? Mobile. Mobile phone.
Cell phone.
Headset. I have a Bluetooth headset so that I can talk on my mobile while driving. Bluetooth. Switch on. Switch off. Please switch off all cell phones during the exam. Button. The buttons on this mobile are awfully small. Screen. Come up. Came up. Come up. I was so happy when Terry's number came up on my screen. Text. I texted Doris that I would be a bit late for our appointment. Text message. Ringtone. Phone number. Area code. Phone box.
Phone booth.
Payphone. Phone card. Call. Phone. You can phone me any time after 6. Urgent. Excuse me, but I have an urgent call for Mr. Wilson on line 4. Local. May I use your phone? It's only a local call. Long distance. A long distance call. Dial. In Britain, dial 999 in an emergency. In the United States, 911. Skype. I'll be in Vancouver on Monday, but we can Skype then if you'd like. Ring, rang, rung. The phone was ringing when I opened the front door. I'll ring you sometime next week. Ring. Why don't you give me a ring when you're in town? Speak, spoke, spoken. I'd like to speak to Mr. Haycraft, please. Speaking. Who's speaking? Put through. Just a moment, I'll put you through. Hang up, hung up, hung up. Joshua hung up before I could say goodbye. Connection. I'll call you right back. We have a bad connection. Line. Mr. Easterbrook, I have a Phoebe Lewis for you on line 2. Please hold the line. Busy. I can't get through, the line's busy. Engaged. Directory. Phone book. Telephone directory. Directory inquiries.
Information.
Message. I'm sorry, she's not in. Would you like to leave a message? Please leave a message after the beep. Answering machine. Answer phone. Voicemail. Fax. Fax machine.
Post. By post. By mail. I've got to post this letter by this afternoon. I've got to mail this letter by this afternoon.
Mail. What time do you receive your mail on Mondays?
Delivery. There's no mail delivery on Sundays in the US. Snail mail. Post office. Postman. Postmen.
Mail carrier.
Postcode. In Canada, the postcode is called the postal code.
Zip code.
Postal. The postal service in the UK is called the Royal Mail. I've just heard that the postal workers are out on strike. Letter. Envelope. Address. Package. Contents. You must declare the contents of a parcel you want to send to a country not in the EU. Stationery. Postcard. Parcel. Stamp. Stick, stuck, stuck. You forgot to stick a stamp on the letter. Postage. What's the postage for an airmail letter to New Zealand? Postage online. Postage by phone. Airmail. How much does a letter to Hong Kong by airmail cost? Express delivery. An express delivery letter.
Special delivery. A special delivery letter.
Receive. Reply. Lynn's mother has written her 3 letters, but she still hasn't received a reply. Send, sent, sent. Send by post. Send by mail. Postbox. Letterbox.
Mailbox.
Enclose. Enclosed, please find a cheque for £10.
Media. In my opinion, the media prefers to make news rather than just report it. Influence. The influence of the mass media on our daily lives is enormous. Many people believe that the mass media influences us too much. Network. The NBC network. Station. A radio station. A television station. Studio. Mass media. Broadcast. The BBC World Service also broadcasts radio programmes for learners and teachers of English. Broadcast. There's going to be a special BBC broadcast direct from Kabul at 10:30 this evening. Coverage. On Saturday, BBC One will be offering live coverage of both soccer matches. Listen. I like to listen to a soccer match on the radio while I do the ironing. Watch. I like to watch the early morning news on television before I leave for work. Present. Next month on Radio Wales, Colin Davis will be presenting a 4-part series on global warming. Host. Who's your favourite talk show host? Listener. Viewer. Announcer. Presenter. Radio. In many parts of the world, radio is people's only source of national and international news. Radio. Before television, almost everyone in Britain had a radio in their living room. Television. Television. I know many families who have a television in their living room, bedroom and kitchen. Channel. Programme. Live. A live programme. Live. The Liverpool-Manchester United match was broadcast live. Teletext. Television licence. Cable. Cable television. Satellite television. Satellite dish. Aerial.
Antenna.
Press. The popular press. Inform. The main job of the press is to inform people about what is going on in the world. Public. The details of the report were not intended to be made public. Tabloid. The tabloid press. Publication. Publication. Publish. Print. Printer. I have to get my materials to the printer by tomorrow. Publisher. Gareth Stevens is a well-known publisher of children's books in the US. Ad. Advertising. Advertisement. flyer, leaflet, brochure, newspaper, paper, magazine, issue. Have you seen the latest issue of Time? Daily, weekly. Magazines are much more common as weeklies, newspapers as dailies. Newsagent. Our newsagent always saves some computer magazines for me if I forget to buy them on Sunday. Newsagents. I'm just going to the newsagents to buy the TV Times. Report. A newspaper report. Jerry was hired to report the local news. This is Sandra Mills reporting from Belfast. Journalist. Source. Editor. Stefan Aust was the editor of the weekly news magazine Der Spiegel from 1994 to 2008. After university, I worked as an editor with a publisher of school books for several years. Reporter. Article. Feature. A feature article, a feature story. Column. A friend of mine writes a weekly column for a local newspaper. Editorial. Headline. The plane crash made headlines around the world. Crossword. Crossword puzzle. I always do the crossword in the paper while I'm having breakfast. Cartoon. Comic strip. Book. Title. Part. Have you read Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3 of The Lord of the Rings? Copy. Can you lend me your copy of Lord of the Flies? Print. The book is in print. The book is out of print. Volume. The encyclopedia consists of 25 volumes. Library. Reading. The lecturer gave suggestions for further reading to his students. Dr. Hofstadter's book makes very interesting reading. Edition. A first edition, a new edition. Paperback. Dan Brown's new book should be published as a paperback very soon. Hardback. Reference book. Dictionary. Encyclopedia. Librarian. Contents. It was a private document, and its contents were never meant to be made public. A table of contents. Page. Text. Index. Appendix, appendices. Outline. Could you give me a brief outline of the plot of the book? Survey. The first chapter of the book includes a brief survey of its contents. Review. Jonathan Kellerman's new book has received very good reviews. My brother has been asked to review J.K. Rowling's latest book for the university newspaper. Source. What sources did you use for your paper? Quote. Quotation. Footnote. Excerpt. Using Google Books, you can look at excerpts from millions of books on the Internet. Copyright.